Orange channel. If you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn your little post notifications on so you can be notified when the next video drops. As you can see from the title, today we are going to be talking about mental health stigmas. So let's check. Well, I am going to discuss 6 mental health stigmas that are out there. Now, of course, there's so much more, but we're just gonna do these top 6 mental health stigmas. Okay, so the first one we are going to discuss is you're crazy if you go to therapy. Now, we all know that is not true. If you go to therapy, there's nothing that has to be wrong with a person that goes to therapy, and you're not deemed crazy if you go to therapy. Oftentimes therapy gets a bad rap because back in the day, only severe cases, or people only knew like individuals that had severe issues. I would say, I don't like really calling them severe, but you know what I'm saying, like the more severity in situations, those are the only ones that went to therapy. And if you can't deal with your issues, then you have to go to therapy. But but in reality, anyone goes to therapy. Like if you just want to have a little conversation about a life change, or you just broke up with your boyfriend, and or you just want to talk, anybody can go to a therapist, and it does not mean that there is something wrong. There's like a current presenting problem. There doesn't have to be anything. You can just go to a therapist just to check in. Check in with your internal world, your internal thoughts, and just with life. Similarly to going to a medical doctor and you just want to do a regular checkup, check your vitals, make sure there's nothing wrong, get blood work done, and that's that. Going to see a mental health professional is similar. It's just somebody who you're talking to, and they keep your information confidential, except for the fine print. If you go to counseling, the only reason why we would have to breach are for a specific thing. Now, stigma number 2, this one's for my Christians. I am a Christian myself, and y'all know I stand firm in my faith, but there is a stigma within Christianity that says, you do not need a therapist. All you need is Jesus. You just need to pray to Jesus and pray against everything you got going on. On one hand, yes, that is true. We should pray and cast all of our cares upon the Lord. That's what the word says. Like, cast all of your anxiety and worries upon the Lord because he cares for you. We were not intended to carry these burdens ourselves. The Lord wants to take our burdens away. Like, we as human beings cannot handle all of the weight and the pressure of the world, right? So we should consult with him. However, we can't use that verse and then neglect all of the other verses that are in the word. And there are so many biblical references of seeking counsel, seeking wise counsel. For example, in Proverbs 11:14, it says, where there is no guidance, a people falls, but in an abundance of counselors, there is safety. Okay, so that is one frame of reference as far as counseling goes. Like, having wise counsel is okay. And another verse in Proverbs 15:22, this is the ESV version. It says, without counsel, plans fail, but with many advisors, they succeed. We have to take that into account as well when we try to use the Bible. Make sure we're looking at all parts and contextualize it. Like, it's okay to seek therapy and to get another view on a situation. Even let's even go further. If we just need Jesus, then that means that you should not go see your PCP either. And you should not go see your OBGYN. Because Jesus is all you need. You don't need to go to any medical doctor. Whenever you're sick, you don't need to take any medicine, okay? You just need to cast your cares on God. and just pray to him and have him take these things away. Majority of individuals do not do that. Y'all go straight to the doctor, baby. A little cough. Oh, my sinus is acting up. I need to go get a little shot because this not going. How many of y'all got the vaccinate? You get vaccinations and so forth. Whoa, we not saying, oh, I'm just gonna trust Jesus, So we have to make sure we are contextualizing the whole entire thing. The Lord placed people on this earth and has given everybody different professions and different gifts to operate in. You have the gift of medicine, you have the gift of acting, the gift of dancing, the gift of therapy, and so forth. So we can utilize those services, in conjunction, like the verses even say that. We can utilize these services as needed. The whole idea is to make sure you're not replacing God with another human being. Some people may look at that as idols. You're idolizing, or you're putting this therapist in front of God, so you need to not go to therapy. That is the information. You're not going to put the therapist in before God. It's doing these things in conjunction. So like, even when you go to the medical doctor, you still pray to the Lord for healing in your body. And you understand that the Lord has the last say in everything that you do and everything that's happening within your body. But you're still going to do the necessary things to help with the symptoms of whatever you're dealing with, whatever ailment you're dealing with in your body, in conjunction with prayer. That's the same thing with therapy. We're going to still pray and ask the Lord to help our mental state, or to ask God for guidance for the situation that we're going through. In conjunction, utilize the skills that are given to you by the therapist. So we need Jesus and we need therapy, okay? The third stigma is only people who do not have friends go to therapy. Well, that myth can be debunked, because whether you have friends or you do not have friends, therapists or therapy is definitely beneficial. For example, let's say if you have friends, right? You have a group of friends who you can talk to. Everyone is not equipped to handle your burdens. And I want you to hear that. Everyone is not equipped to handle your burdens. Like, we've been taught, like growing up, oh, you talk to your friends whenever you're going through, which is okay, because you do have friends that can help you through and give you, advice or resources of where you need to go, or what you should do in situations. But there are going to be some moments where your friends do not know what to say, or don't know, because they don't have that frame of reference or that schema to help you through. And then you may be left feeling like, oh, I have nobody, because now you just vented to your friends and all they can say is, oh my gosh, I am so sorry you went through that. You want to cry on my shoulder? Here, let's cry together. And then that's that, and sometimes, of course, you may just need that soundboard, but at the same time, you're going to have moments where you need someone to really speak into your situation, where you need someone to really give you pointers and skills, and they don't have that wisdom or knowledge. So it's very important that you do understand that even with friends, everyone is not equipped to handle your problems, okay? On top of that, everyone has their own problems that they're going through. And then so, you may be a person that can be going through a huge experience, a huge crisis, but then can put your emotions on the back burner to then help someone else through. You may be that good at it, but then you have other individuals that can't do that. They have to focus on their life and what they're going through first, and then they can focus on you later, and you're kind of like an afterthought, or they can focus on you now, but they can't give 100% of themselves to you because they're still trying to deal with what they're going through. So with that, all that being stated, whether you have friends or not, everyone can benefit from seeking a therapist. Number 4, mental health problems are permanent. That is another myth that can be crossed out. So I'm going to speak from two different sides, okay? So the first side, I'm going to speak from my faith. If you are a Christian, then you know that with Christ, all things are possible, and you know that the Lord has the last say, right? So with that being stated, your mental health problems are not going to be permanent, or have the possibility of not being permanent if God comes into your life and change that situation around. Okay, so you have that in boom. However, on this other side, the scientific psychology side, mental health problems are permanent. That will be dependent upon the situation and that person. Okay, there's a lot of different factors that go into play. I personally do not believe that mental health problems are permanent. I feel like it's an evolution. It evolves and it grows, and you learn how to manage the situation, and you can overcome. I do believe that you can overcome. However, you have certain therapists and doctors that believe that mental health issues are permanent. And like, for example, if you get on medicine, some people will say you have to stay on medicine forever. You'll hear that from doctors. For example, you have high blood pressure, going to a medical doctor, right? You have high blood pressure, they'll say you'll be on that forever to manage your high blood pressure. But there is evidence out there that shows people literally reverting and weaning themselves off the medicine and no longer taking it. Same thing with diabetes and other issues in their body. They have weaned themselves off the medicine and they are no longer taking it because they're doing other factors to help with their health. For example, changing what they're eating, changing what they're putting in their body, exercising more, even taking themselves out of environments that have caused themselves so much stress that created these elements. There are different factors that goes into play, and the same thing with mental health. There are different factors that go into play. Like, if you've gotten on medicine, of course the goal is not to stay on it forever, but that will be dependent upon your levels, your serotonin levels, your hormonal levels. Certain people might have to, if they're not producing so much levels of this particular hormone, to keep their emotions stable or balanced, right? And then you have other individuals that can wean themselves off and just utilize the coping skills. So not mental health, for them to just put out there like, oh, mental health problems are permanent. You can't necessarily say that, okay? Because it's all dependent on so many factors and the situation. And number 5, once on medicine, you'll always be on medicine. So this goes in conjunction with tip number 4, or with the myth number 4. Medicine all depends on the person. Like, just because you go see a therapist doesn't mean you're going to be put on medicine. And then if you do happen to get on medicine, that's to stabilize the situation that you're going through, that you're facing. And it all depends on the person. Some people have more severity in their symptoms, and so medicine helps stabilizes. But then you also have to remember, with medicine, you also have other side effects that comes with the medicine. So it all depends on the person, right? Depending on the presenting diagnosis, that will determine if you're going to be on medicine, depending on how you react to both therapy and the medications. That is a factor that will go into play. Some people, like I said previously, can wean themselves off of the medicine and predominantly use the techniques that they gained within psychotherapy. But it is really predominantly on the client. And lastly, number 6 is, I should be able to handle things on my own. And if I can't handle them on my own, that means I'm weak. Of course, that myth has to be debunked. Like I stated previously, we are not equipped to handle all of the issues that are brought upon us. It's too heavy. It's too heavy. We are going to encounter situations that we've never experienced before, and so I have to know how to handle the situation that I've never been through before. You know, that is unrealistic. So not being able to handle situations is not a sign of weakness. It's just a sign of having no knowledge. We're not gonna know how to handle everything, you know what I'm saying? And it's okay. Like, we don't know how we're going to react in a situation once it presents itself. We can always try to imagine what we would do if we were in a situation, but you would never know what you would do until you're literally walking in that particular scenario. And so saying that to say you're not weak, and it's okay. It's okay if you don't know. It's perfectly fine. We are not perfect. Certain things do not come natural to other individuals, and so it's okay if you don't know. It's okay if you can't handle it. The good thing about it is that you can figure it out, and you can learn how to handle it, and then spread that knowledge to those around you once you gain it. So you're not weak. Well, that's all that I have for this video. If you know of any mental health stigmas, please put them in the comments below so we can have a little chit chat about it. And make sure you like, comment, and share this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.